Right, I have been meaning to do a vlog for so long. It's been a long time. I have got so much to tell you as to what's been going on. So I haven't been able to be chatting to you guys because I've been so ill since, it's got to be since September. Has to be since September, October time. I've been really ill. So I just wanted to basically recap. Oh, let me just, I've got something on my camera and I just want to get that off. Good. Okay, so oh my god, I'm so excited. I need to calm myself because I've got so much to tell you. So obviously a lot of you want to know how things have panned out since early this year and what things have happened. So I want to recap. I did do a previous post back, I think it was about this same sort of time last year. And the post I did then was about how I got 2 studios. So I got Spin City and I also got another studio called, what was it, Soul Pole Fitness or Soul Pole? Something or other along the lines of that. Anyway, me and her didn't see eye to eye. I'm still with Spin City. Amazing chain. Brilliant people. Help you get on the ladder. Do the qualifications that you need to do to become an instructor. As you guys well know, obviously I've literally manifested everything that I spoke about back in, well, for the previous years. I mean, if you go back through my vlogs, you'll see what I have done, what I said I wanted to do, and it's gone incredible. Anyway, so and I go back to last December. I did a video on how I got 2 studios. One was Spin City, one at this Soul Pole other studio, and I only done 3 lessons there, and me and her come to blows. So that was the end of that. And then within 6 weeks, I knew it was the right thing I'd done from leaving there. And within 6 weeks, I built Access Pole Fitness. 6 weeks, can you believe that? I was like, I'm going to do this. 6 weeks. 6 weeks I built Access Pole Fitness. I put on a little ad through Facebook saying, hi, has anybody got any studios to rent? Stuart come to my rescue and he was like, Tash, yeah, I've got a studio you can have if you're interested. £20 an hour. Yeah, all right. Stu, I've got another problem. What's that? I can't afford the poles. Okay, so how much do you want? Well, you know, 2.5. Fair play to the bloke. He lent me the money and I was able to purchase 6 poles. And I gave him back the money within about 4 months. I haven't been doing it 4 years. I've only been doing it, what, 9 months, 10 months. Yeah, so 4 months. I paid him back. Also within that time, I got approached by, well, in lockdown. So in lockdown, I wrote to a TV show. Didn't think that was going to come off. I just was like, well, you know, it's in lockdown, just COVID just hit, and I wrote to Rich House, Poor House and Emporium, and I looked around and I was like, oh yeah, I've always wanted to do this show. You know, I used to watch it and used to get really teary and was like, oh my god, that person's going to change your life, how amazing is that? And did the show. It was amazing. I got like, we did the swap. It was fantastic. So we'd done that in the April. So in the March this year, I built my business in 6 weeks. That went live on the 7th of March. On the 1st of April, I switched to switched houses with the Callanans. We had an amazing experience. Obviously, I do talk about that in another video. We did amazing stuff like the cryotherapy, the speedboat trip. You don't see none of that on the film, unfortunately. But it was amazing. What an awesome week. And then I went on holiday. I went to Egypt in the end of May, something like that, end of May. I went to Egypt and I was like, oh my god, I've just set this business, what am I gonna do? But Shannon, bless her, she coped, she done it. And then in the June, July, things started going a little bit quiet because obviously kids were just breaking up from school. And then August, done my shoulder in. So in August, I'd done my shoulder in and I was in a lot of pain. I was still teaching. It wasn't very nice, and I had to recover somehow. But yeah, I was in a lot of pain with that, and also caught COVID in the July. still trying to teach as well, so it affected my lungs pretty bad, because also I have a condition called sarcoidosis, which has got scarring on the lungs. So it's another thing that I got to deal with. But yeah, you know, it's fine. I'm okay. And then September, we went live on the 4th of September, and I looked at things very differently at that moment. Things changed for me. I looked at the TV show very differently, whereas originally I was like, oh my god, you know, it's very Callanan heavy. And then I looked at it and thought, you know what, actually it was the best thing that could have happened to me. And I looked at it very, very differently at that moment in time. And people obviously seen how things were and how much I've improved and what I've done. I'm a leader. I am not a follower. I do not lead. I do not follow. Okay, I'm not a sheep. I'm a leader at the end of the day. My goal from beginning to start was I was going to achieve this with or without that TV show. With or without those people, I was going to build my business. So I'm not with Andrea no more, or Matt. I decided to cut losses there. And I went on my own, you know, and I've got a really good mentor at the moment, who is a really good friend of mine as well, who lives up in North, and he builds businesses. That's what he does. And he's been helping me for the last 8 weeks, and me and Shannon has took off. I then also, during that period from September to right through to like December, I also had something called, what else? It was this horrible condition which attacked my nervous system, which was called Ramsay-Hunt syndrome. And part of my face started to drop. So it affected my nerves. So I was then on steroids and antibiotics, sleeping pills, sickness pills, because also I lost part of my hearing. So I'm partially deaf at the moment. That needs to be sorted out because it's affected my hearing. What else happened? And during this time, I also found myself a new studio. And that was in October. Aunt looked around to me whilst I was on the steroids and stuff. I've got to admit, the steroids were brilliant because they helped my chest. So the cough and everything else started going. Plus my shoulder healed as well, which was amazing. So the pain that I had in the shoulder that I got in the August, and my chest from like the 2 lots of COVID I had earlier this year, because they also said I've got long-term COVID, whatever that means. Got rid of. So the steroids and the antibiotics got rid of that, which was brilliant. So I feel so much better. I feel amazing from it. And yeah, Aunt around to me and said to me, Tash, there has to be somewhere around here that's going to be a really good venue. My husband's amazing. I can't knock him. He's bloody awesome. So he looked around and he said, Tash, there has to be a studio around here, something that we can use that will help you. You need to be visible. And Andrew, I've got to admit, she did say that. So she looked around and said, you need to be visible. And we do. 100%. Where we were was a no-go. It was, I can't thank Stu enough for giving us the opportunity, but it was just not very good for women where we were. And it was like next door to a scrapyard. And the venue was quite cold. When you do pole, you have to be really warm. The poles have to be warm. They can't be cold. You don't tend to stick to the pole if they're not warm. So there's loads of elements that people don't actually know about pole, which I need to probably talk about and go into depth about it, which I'll do another video on. So me and Aunt found this venue, and what happened, it was on a Friday afternoon, and he looked around to me and he said, Tash, we're Asda, Whitchurch, which is very close to where Spin Studio still pole is, which at the time I didn't even think about that, but it is what it is. So anyway, we're next to Asda, and he said to me, Tash, let's go and have a look on Fortfield Road. And we did, and we had a look on Fortfield Road, and there it was, a council-owned community centre, which is actually a judo centre, or a Aikido. It's called a Aikido Dojo, and we're in South Bristol. And I went and had a chat with Darren, and Darren was like, yeah, do you know what, I can make this work. He said, we've only got boxes in on Monday, so that's the only day you can't have. And I was like, oh, douche, man, because we actually do classes on a Monday and a Wednesday. Well, obviously that's got scrapped. We now do classes on a Tuesday and a Wednesday, bit on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because he was like, the only day I can't do is Monday. Everything else you can do, because we go from where are we? So we go from a Tuesday round to a Sunday, and it's yours. I was like, oh my god, that's amazing. And I said, oh, do you mind if I like did some rearranging? Like, there was I mean, if you have a look on here, you can find, excuse me, the other video on there that shows what we done in the last 10 weeks. There's another reason why I was ill, because I've been working my boots off. Not only was I working 2 jobs, because I also do my other collecting job, as you all know. So I do my collecting job on a Tuesday and a Thursday, and then I also teach as well, a lot of the time. So because I was doing that, and on the weekends I've also got my kids, and I'm also trying to build this other studio, it's been really challenging with the meetings on top of it as well. So I'm doing really well, and you know, it's like literally I've had a little bit of an epiphany like this Christmas, because I've sat back, I had some nice time with my family, which is what I needed. I need to have some time, and I love my family, because that's the only time I get really chance to unwind and not think about pole, not think about the business, not think about anything, just have time with my family and my kids and my loved ones, and they are so important to me. And going forward, I would like that to happen most times where I'm away from everything with them. And you know, and seeing my little one cry yesterday is heartbreaking, because he wants to go back to, you know, the magical and the lodge, he kept calling it, because it's actually a beautiful cottage that we stayed at. You could go look it up. It's Penbridge Court, and it's in Taunton. It's a lovely place. I recommend it. It's fantastic. Hot tub there, games room there, so you got pool and stuff like that, and the kids, oh my god, it was so magical. It was wonderful. And that's the only time really I get to chance to like unwind and not think about anything, and spend time with my husband and my kids and my family. So going forward, I will make sure that I have time away booked off with my family. And whilst I was there, I had a bit of a reflection of like what my year has been, and it's been a hard year, because there was even a moment that me and Aunt nearly divorced, and that was at the end of January when I left the other pole studio, and Aunt was like, "You're an idiot, you're stupid, you've just got given this opportunity and you're left." And I was like, "Aunt, I know my gut feeling. You know, I go with my gut feeling quite a lot, and there's twice this year I've had 2 moments where my stomach went over, and I chose to go, do you know what? Thanks, but no thanks. Don't want you. Don't need you in my life." And that's because I know what's right for me and what's not right for me. So because I understand and I listen to my body, I know when to rest. I know when I need to take it easy. Although I don't at times. It's because I know I got so much going on. But I keep pushing until I know I got that moment where I know it's coming up to I'm going to be resting. So obviously we had a really big battle, me and Aunt, earlier this year, where it was like, it's testing our relationship. But I'm glad it did, because I wouldn't be where I am today if I'd listened to what Aunt wanted me to do, but I chose not to. And this is the thing, I will go with what I know is right, and I know what's right for me. And like I said, I'm a leader at the end of the day. I'm not a follower. I will not follow because somebody tells me that I have to stay somewhere. No, it won't happen. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do something because you think that you have the right path for me. No, it's not going to happen. I know what the right path for me is. That's why I do what I do, and that's why I'm so successful in what I'm doing. So don't need to brag, but I am very good at what I do. You know, and I've manifested everything in my life from 2018 to where I am today. You know, I cannot believe that now, as of January 23, I have my own studio. like, I was having this conversation about 2 years ago, like talking to you guys on here, on YouTube, talking and saying about what's happened in my life or what I wanted to achieve. And here I am, like 2 years down the line, and I've manifested those things. And it just goes to show, if you want them that bad and you want it and you don't put fear in the way and you don't go to yourself, oh yeah, but what if I can't do this? Oh, but what if I can't do that? Oh, but what if I'm not good enough? You are good enough. You can do anything. You can achieve anything. You just have to have that mindset to do it. And that's what I'm about. And I know I can do it. I remember telling my mum a few years ago when I first started pole, and she was like, Tash, you can't do this. I could already do the splits, mind. I couldn't do very much at that stage either. But I went, Mum, listen to me. I know I'm on the right path. I just have a knowing I'm going the right direction. I know this is what I'm meant to do. And she just shut up and she didn't say nothing. And she was just like, okay, if that's what you think you need to do, then I agree with you. So I just want to say to everyone out there who's looking for a bit of oomph and they are trying to find their way, 100%, you can do it. 100%. If I can do it and you followed my journey on here, if I can do it, you 100% can do it. Because I know if your mind's in the right place and you don't follow the sheeps, and you get off your butt and do it, you will do it. And that's the thing. It's like there's nothing blocking your way. It's only you that's putting yourself in the way. So don't hold your fear back. Go out there and get it. If you want something that bad, go and get it. Don't just sit back and just think it's going to come on your lap, because it doesn't. The thing is, with manifestation and law of assumption, right, you have to put some of the effort in for them to go, oh, okay, I'll meet you halfway. And that's what's happened. So when I've gone, oh, do you know what, I want to go on a TV series, I done part of the writing, I just set the business up, and then it's gone, oh, the universe gone, oh, actually, yeah, you know, this is your opportunity, Tash. Yeah, I'll chuck you in. Oh, okay, thank you very much. I need a new studio. Okay, well, I'll give somebody the idea. And then out of the blue, things just keep popping in and keep coming, you know, and it just, but you haven't got to think about it too much. You're just like, okay, I need this. Right, can you help me with that? Yeah, okay. Universe go, yeah, all right, keep going what you're doing and I'll see what I can do. So I'll still do my press-ups and I'll still do my workouts in the morning. Next minute, something else arrives. It's like, oh, thank you very much. I'll have that. So I am grateful for this journey that I had. Like, oh my God, it's been amazing. I'll tell you what, God, this journey has been some ups and downs. Crazy ups and downs. But it's also been amazing. It's been hard work, blood, sweat, tears, you name it. I have gone through shit and hell, but laughter, fun, and miracles do happen. So